my first accessible hotel room. Before we check out our first ADA hotel room here at the Grand Canyon Railway and Hotel, let's talk about how we got here. We are on part 3 of our 3-part video series exploring the Grand Canyon via the Grand Canyon Railway. In part 1 of the series, we took you on our train ride, highlighting the adaptability of the trip for permanent wheelchair users. In part 2, we navigated the Grand Canyon National Park via their free public transit to hike up to Mather Point and back in our 3-hour window to enjoy the park. This brings us to where we left off, me entering my first ADA hotel room. Come check it out with me. And it looks like a hotel room. First stop, we'll look at the bathroom.
Looks like a hotel room.
They have a walk-in shower, or in my case, a roll-in shower, and all of the appropriate grab bars. I think the bathroom is bigger than a normal hotel bathroom. Usually it's like a galley bathroom, and this room has more space to turn around. I can even roll under the sink. Hooray for easier toothbrushing. And the sleeping part. I can turn around. Get over here. The beds are high. I read about that on the internet, seeing people ask where they can find a hotel with shorter beds. I have Jeff's help in case I can't transfer here on my own, though.
Soft closed drawers.
They have the fancy soft closed drawers, too. Fridge. Wardrobes. Cool. With all of the walking around Jeff did while I was snoozing.
I feel like that's life right now, right? You get to go snooze and I do stuff.
He gets to carry all the luggage into the hotel room.
While our lives might look very different on trips, it is a pleasure carrying all of our luggage, especially into the Grand Canyon Railway and hotel. We're looking at the main drive-up entrance that you will encounter when you first show up and drive up to the hotel. This hotel has a long history, just like the train. The hotel was a part of a chain of restaurants and hotels that were ran by the Fred Harvey Company. They cropped up along the Santa Fe Railway system at the turn of the 19th into the 20th centuries. These hotels and restaurants quickly became known for their service and quality of food. This hotel, originally known as the Fray Marcus Hotel, opened to the public in 1908 with 22 guest rooms, and in 1925, 21 additional guest rooms were added. There are currently 298 available rooms to rent. The Fray Marcus Hotel is a diamond in the rough. It brought in a luxurious modern amenities and a touch of civility and charm to a small frontier town. While the current location for the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel is not the original location, both the Williams Depot and Fray Marcus Hotel are used in part as the Grand Canyon Railway gift shop, company offices, and the historic depot. And the historic depot is obviously open to public use, as well as the gift shop. The hotel we are staying at was built in 1995 and designed to resemble the historic Fray Marcus Hotel. Let us take a look at some of the amazing amenities of the current hotel. As you walk into the historic feeling Grand Canyon lobby, you're greeted with a warm fireplace, original oil paintings by the artist Kenny McKenna, and reproduction sculptures by Frederick Remington, as well as just seeing the Grand Canyon, which you will eventually see with your own eyes, but these artwork depictions are wonderful. The hotel property is gorgeous. There's lots of paved paths that anybody in any form of wheelchair would be able to easily traverse. We're looking at Spencer's Pub on the back side of the hotel, one of the back entrances. Spencer's Pubs is one of the eating options at the Grand Canyon Hotel. One of the other options for eating during your stay is the Fred Harvey Restaurant, named after the Fred Harvey Company that owned the property back in the day. And one of the other really cool things about the property is you're always running into historic trains and just different train memorabilia. It's awesome to see and get close to the history. You're going to learn a bit more about this train in a little bit. I'll let Vanessa tell you more about the Saginaw Manistee Lumber Company. And they even have a Western set because they do Western shows. Don't miss that. The courtyard is gorgeous, and golden hour out here in Williams is breathtaking. We lucked out in our stay at the Grand Canyon Hotel. The courtyard is in between all of the living quarters, and it's easily accessible for anybody, and my wife is enjoying her time rolling around it. She even has a ramp to get down to read what is on the statue. Even if that sign really isn't much history and it just says, "I am a young horse, please stay off me." But she can still read the sign. There are some amenities like a gym that is available to you, as well as a nice hot tub and pool area. And don't forget to look at the lifts that exist for both the hot tub and the pool area to get in and out and assist those that need assistance in and out of the pool. I thought that was a pretty awesome amenity. And the pool also has an accessible bathroom. So if you need to use the restroom, you've got an accessible restroom right there at the pool area.
When I was going to book this particular trip and stay, one of the things that I did that was actually really good, because I don't know what to do. I got through the form, I was doing the online process. There was nowhere to say, my wife is ADA, we need accommodations. Apparently there's a note section at the end of the form. I didn't get that far into the form, and I paused because I was like, can we get on the railway car? What is it? What do I need to book in order to get on the railway car? Does all of the railway cars have the same ability as the, or is it separated? Do they only have certain cars that are ADA that would fit our needs? Mm-hmm. So I had a ton of questions. I picked up the phone, I called. If you're a millennial, this goes against every instinct you have. Do that. Just pick up the phone and call. It's wonderful.
To do that more.
Yeah. It was just wonderful. I talked to the guest services, and they talked with me for a very long time, very warm conversation. She specifically had some questions of what can't you do? What are our needs? Mm-hmm. And they really helped walk me through the process of what would make this the most accessible stay for us and most successful and least stressful stay.
Yeah.
This even comes down to a bench for the bathroom that is a roll-in bathroom. They provided a bench so that we really wouldn't have had to bring our own.
Yep.
I went ahead and brought our own just because I didn't know what to expect. And I think ours is a little bit more stable for Vanessa. It's got a backrest. The bench they have here did not have a backrest. Correct. Although Vanessa, as we all know,
has a lot of core.
Has a lot of core.
Has a lot of core. So if you haven't seen that, man, you click here. It's a lot of fun.
Well, and the great part about them asking those questions is because, like, ADA is it can be kind of a blanket thing of like, here's some basics, the kind of essentials of what businesses and organizations need to be accessible. Every piece of that doesn't work for everybody. There's differences in all spinal cord injuries, even, of what kinds of accommodations you need and don't need. Talking through things, as much as the millennial in me hates having to do that, really is beneficial and really helps make the experience great. Very much kudos to them, to doing whatever they can to individualize that experience to whatever need level may arise.
How was your stay, though?
It was fantastic.
My stay was epic as well. I thought it was a great way to celebrate 10 years.
Yeah.
A beautiful area. Yeah.
It's cooler than Phoenix.
Phoenix can't really be that hot, can it?
Cooler than Phoenix. That was the goal.
It was great.
It was great.
This is a really silly thing about the hotel, but I love the design of their logo. It's just cool.
It's a beautiful logo. I think it's well thought through. I love the history. They have some really legit Western artwork around the premises here.
Yeah.
And
you get to see art of the canyon before you go to the canyon.
Absolutely. And they kind of paint and bring you into the Old West. I think they do that really well.
Yeah.
They have photos of what the hotel looked like a long time ago.
Yeah.
They've done a really good job of keeping the wood really nice and beautiful and keeping that aesthetic from the Old West, that Old West fancy aesthetic that you would have gotten if you were traveling by train.
And so here's a cool history bit that I learned, because when we came to the hotel, in between the hotel and the train depot is this old steam engine, some kind of engine behind us, you can kind of see. And on it says Saginaw and Manistee Lumber Company. And immediately I'm like, I know Saginaw and Manistee. Those are towns in Michigan. Those are my towns. And I'm like, huh, weird. So today, finally, I went and I read the little plaque by it. And it turns out that basically the town of Williams was built by the Saginaw and Manistee Lumber Company out of Michigan. So that was a really neat connection to my own growing up in Michigan, that to find out the places in Michigan built the town of Williams was neat.
Yeah, hashtag Michigan facts and Arizona facts.
Yeah,
Michigan and Arizona becoming a weird connection.
westward expansion.
Westward expansion. Yeah, that's true. So I think the other thing I really liked about the hotel is if you wanted to or needed to reduce your stress level and spend a little bit more money, you could make this the only place you go in Williams. They've got a couple different diners. They've got a Spencer's Pub Bar connected right to the hotel that's open for dinner and like cocktail hour if you're down for that.
Some of the packages include all your meals,
Yeah.
which is right a short roll away over at their
Fred
buffet.
Harvey Restaurant Buffet.
Mhm.
And that's a really cool buffet.
They have a train.
They have a train. It's really cool. It's a buffet, so they have like a breakfast, a lunch,
Yeah.
a dinner buffet.
All the pluses and minuses of a buffet.
All the pluses and minuses. I think you would have to stick to really expensive proteins if you want to make the best bang for your buck at a buffet, but we weren't trying to do that
It was
necessarily.
definitely probably the fanciest buffet I ever went to. They had asparagus and hollandaise sauce.
Yeah.
Something I grew up eating in Michigan during asparagus season. And I was like, whoa, I've never seen that at a
I've
buffet.
never seen that on a buffet either. Overall, I would say is a total experience. If you want to go get away specifically to see the Grand Canyon, to ride a train, to stay at a hotel, this is an amazing
One-stop shop.
one-stop shop. I know for us, the packages are quite expensive, so as I'm kind of trying to piece through what's doable, thanks to my mom, love you, Mom, what's doable for us is, we chose to do some other things. We wanted to see Route 66
There's
in
also,
Williams.
Yeah, there's a lot of great places to eat in town as well. And that's not hard to get to. There's not a lot of parking downtown. I don't know if there's any proper accessible parking downtown.
So from your first ADA hotel experience, what were the pros, what were the cons?
Pros were the roll and shower. It's like, oh, sweet. Kind of a con with that, actually, is just that I'm so used to getting in and out of the setup I have at home that it's like, oh, this takes more mental energy to figure out, like, wait, I don't have the setup at home, even though it's like easier because I can roll in and the transfer's easier. There's still a little bit more mental energy that goes into how do I do this? It's different. The biggest surprise to me was the bed height.
The beds are high.
And I've read about it and seen it on the internet, and I just didn't realize that it was, oh yeah, it's going to be really hard for me to get on the bed independently because it's up really high.
Yeah, so the bed height. That's one of the things that we could have prepped better. So tip, bring your transfer board if you need it. I didn't think about it. It didn't
We have
cross
one
my
in the
mind.
car.
We do have one in the car. So we
So-
would have been prepared because we had our car this time. We didn't
Yeah.
have to travel. So
We're
I could have gone and
flying.
got it. However, it was really good OT, like specialized OT, me getting
Yeah.
to help Vanessa practice popovers that she's doing in therapy.
There's one I think I got all the way on the bed by myself.
I think there was two. I think you did really well
and
by
then
the
one
end
I
of it.
fell right into you, but
That's why I'm there.
yeah, exactly. I'm practicing.
Yeah. Overall, what would you say about your experience staying at the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel?
It was lovely.
It was lovely.
Would do again.
I would definitely do it again. Encourage anybody that is thinking about it, and maybe it would be your first time staying in a hotel that you needed ADA, some accessibility changes and modifications. It was a wonderful experience.
Yeah. Well, and just a great way, to be able to go, okay, I'm going to stay at this place. And from there, you don't even really have to get into a car to eat and go see the Grand Canyon and do all these other pieces and get on this train. And a good all around vacation stop that's very accessible.
Blew me away from just everybody who works here is so friendly. Minus that one dude who robbed me.
That's it. Keep them up. Hand it over, and nobody gets hurt.
But it's a different story. Everybody is.
He might have done that on purpose.
Yeah, everybody is
In his
just.
costume of a robber on the train.
That's great. Go ahead, make your jokes, Mr. Jokey. Joke maker.
Everybody is so friendly. And it's just really nice to come and they care about your specific needs, the needs to make this a successful stay. and they celebrate you. Like, this is our anniversary, and everybody that had an anniversary, they gave you a
Happy
gift.
anniversary!
You hear happy anniversary
I've
all
heard
the
happy
time.
anniversary so many times.
I've heard
It makes it so special.
good morning and hello multiple times, and just stopping and chatting about life and where we're at and hopes and dreams. And it's just been wonderful. Wonderful stay in Williams. Highly recommend it.
Thank you, Williams. Thank you, Grand Canyon Railway Hotel.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
On to adventure.
On to adventure.